Hi, I'm Ray Vassell. I'm the commissioner of the UWA, and I just want to let you folks know at home that you cannot, as a wrestler, the UWA cannot hold 2 belts in the UWA. So Bombshell Billy was forced to give up this title, and we will have a Intercontinental TV tournament starting now.
Nobody can tell me what to do. I'm the rebel with a cause, breaking the curfew. An international threat to the power structure. Scream when your eardrums rupture. Anarchy, primal terror. My God, it's a brand new era. The world revolves on an economic axis. And if it slips, everybody trips. Black and white in a fight for green, while the yellow and red get caught between. Wanna be gangsters, living their lives, getting rich while they glorify genocide, homicide, suicide, politics are tongue-tied. West side, east side. What's the difference if you ride, you ride? If you live, you live, but if you die, you die, you die. Back on up. I make my own rules. Back on up. I'm my own man, I make my own rules. Back on up. I make my own rules. Check it out, ha. Back on up. I'm my own man, I make my own rules. Give me mine, give it up, give it back. I can't let it fly like that. Nah. Everybody want a free ride, and most of my fake ass friends got snake eyes. Ready for a fight to the death, protect the innocent till there ain't none left. Homeboy guilty, homegirl guilty. Who are you to play judge and jury? Filled with fury, the wrath of a tyrant. Who's to blame when you young get violent? When the clock cocks and pots many drops, and if his mama get him out, will he stop? Dangerous, walking on the edge, don't anger us. Stop blaming us for the rules that you made, games that you play, things you got it made. Why you so afraid? Back on. I make my own rules. Watch out now. Back on up. I'm my own man. I make my own rules. Back on up. I make my own rules. Check it out now. Back on up. I'm my own man. I make my own rules. Harlem, Bosnia, church burning, the Middle East, no justice, no peace. Gangsta rapper, now deceit. And what can we learn from this? Eventually the guilty burn from this. It's a universal threat. Time bomb ticking, the clock is set. Generation X, live and direct. The Constitution, execution, emancipation, annihilation. Serial rights for all stereotypes. Amsterdam got bright red lights. New York's the apple, Hollywood's the green. LL Cool J must be green. Red hot chili peppers down with the team. From the cradle to the grave, sing this theme. Back on up. I make my own rules. Come on now. Back on up. Ha. I'm my own man. I make my own rules. Back on up. I make my own rules. Check it out now. Back on up. I'm my own man. I make my own rules. Break the rules. Make the 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 rules.
Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the UWA Ringmasters. I'm the small guy along with Metal Bob, but we just heard from the UWA's What Are You Doing? Ray Vassell.
You still don't look small to me.
Ray Vassell ordering the Intercontinental TV title tournament to begin this week on the UWA Ringmasters. We're going to have a new Intercontinental TV champion.
We are. We have round 1 matches for you. Mr. Personality against Action Jackson, Philanderer and R Mortis, Mr. Big and the Nightmare. Dalton Payne, is he family or isn't he? And the Disco Kid.
Well, I would have to ask you that question now, wouldn't I?
I thought you were marrying off your sisters. Mr. Happy and Johnny Mainstreet, that's all in round 1. That's going to be here today. Let's go back right now. Why not take a look at the reason this tournament's happening in the first place?
You know what's going to win this match? Sure will.
Well, it's a
Total
question of who
will.
wants it more right now, Big or Bombshell. Wait a minute, what's Bombshell doing? He's setting the chair up next to Mr. Big. I don't think he's planning to take a seat.
Unbelievable.
He's setting up for a maneuver here. Now comes off. Oh, there's the bombshell drop as he comes rolling across on Mr. Big. Got a little extra leverage from the chair. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3. It's finally over. I can't believe it. And now devastating Derek and El Diablo from the Steel Stable coming to the ring.
And still UWA Heavyweight Champion and new Intercontinental Television Champion, Bombshell Billy.
And Mr.
Oh, Mr.
Big
Big
not
is
happy.
winning.
He has stolen the belt, and now devastating Derek.
Calm down, my friend. You calm down. You calm down. Something me and
Derek in the ring.
You and your stick boy friends should get out of the ring right now before something terrible happens.
Bombshell
You better just wait right
wins the World Heavyweight title
I'm
and
surprised
the Intercontinental
Mr.
TV
Big has
title.
the-
And,
1 year.
Presence of mind to even...
Bombshell can barely stand. Big up on his feet. Look at this. Big gives both of the belts to Bombshell
Well, they're his.
and raises Bombshell's arm in victory. A very sportsmanlike maneuver. Billy doesn't know what to think. He's just kind of standing there staggering. He gives the thumbs up to Mr. Big. I think there's a mutual respect there that we may not have seen before.
After a war
Amazing.
like that?
Oh, unbelievable. So now there will be an Intercontinental TV title tournament. It will start next week here after one of the most hectic Christmas chaoses we've ever seen in UWA history.
I think you know what you got to do with this.
Bombshell Billy bringing over the Intercontinental Television Championship, and this belt will now be the subject of an elimination tournament to crown a brand new Intercontinental Television Champion after one of the most brutal encounters. I just have never seen anything this ruthless and just this violent. And my years as a wrestling announcer, I have not seen anything like this.
Diablo and I have had some wars, but I wasn't in that one, but just looking at it,
Folks,
that topped them all.
From Metal Bob, I'm the small guy. From everybody at the UWA, have a safe and happy holiday season, and we'll see you in 1997. Oh, 1998, I should say. I'm so excited I don't even know what year it is. Good night, everybody.
Don't try this at home.
That match is going to have to go down, Bob, as one of the most brutal title matches we've ever seen in the history of the UWA.
It's certainly the most grueling and brutal thing that I've ever seen in my life, in my career here in the United Wrestling Alliance, no doubt.
But that's what brings us to this point, the starting of the Intercontinental Television Title Tournament. We've got first-round matches for you today on UWA Ringmasters. Will you stop that?
Let's get to the ring and not even worry about it. Mr. Big against the Nightmare, first up.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or comments about the UWA or any of our upcoming events, please write to the UWA. It's P.O. Box 54, North Syracuse. Zip is 13212. Or you can touch with us on the World Wide Web. We're on the net at www.angelfire.com/small_y/UWA ring.
And you definitely need to check out the Metal Bob webpage. You can link right off of it from the main UWA page.
You know what? I actually checked out that Metal Bob webpage, and it is pretty cool.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to the ring now, and let's go up to our ring announcer for our first matchup here of this Intercontinental Television Title Tournament.
Go at it, Magnum.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for one fall and is part of the first round of the UWA Intercontinental Television Championship Tournament. Coming down to the ring from Puerto Rico, here is the Nightmare.
Nightmare making his way to the ring.
He is one tough customer.
Looks like he's ready to tear somebody's head
His
off.
opponent, accompanied at ringside by Mr. Happy, hailing from Canastota, New York, here is Mr.
Play so often during Christmas chaos in their Anything Goes Street Fighters. Collar and elbow tie-up, Nightmare tossed across the ring. Big coming back over. Big quick on the offense here. Irish whip off the ropes. Clothesline drops Nightmare down.
And this Big is wasting no time. He wants to get back into those finals. He wants to make quick work of his opponents. I talked to him earlier.
They go for the splash.
He misses.
Telegraphed it. Winds up getting a shot in the midsection. Nightmare, vicious clothesline, drops down Big.
And Big has to be the #1 contender for this tournament because he is the former champion.
Well, he's certainly up against her right now, though, against the Nightmare. Nightmare bringing him back to a vertical base, taking him over the corner. Smashes his head into the turnbuckle. Now going for shots to the midsection. Now a couple of shots on the side of the head.
He's going to reopen that wound.
You know, if I was the Nightmare, I would actually go for that to try to go after the injury that's already present.
And he does. There's a good old-fashioned oh, nothing pretty about that.
Yeah, the Nightmare is probably having a nightmare right about now, I would think. Big coming down, quick cover here. 1, 2.
You're not going to get the Nightmare like that.
Big at least had enough sense to hook that leg. Nightmare back to his feet now. Punch right to the head. Now, the Nightmare, here's a good tactic here. Working on the legs of the big man. He's got him down on the mat.
And he learned that from the man that he has teamed with as of late. He used to feud with the Irish Assassin. The man is an expert at the submission hold, and it looks like the Nightmare's taking a page out of his book.
Big trying to claw. No, too close to the ropes there. Was trying to use that almost chin lock maneuver to roll him up into a cradle and couldn't do it. Big and Nightmare now trading blows. Big with a judo-style chops to the side of the head. Now Big getting ready to come off the ropes. Let's see. Oh, big leg drop.
Sort of a shin drop, I'd call that.
2 count, and Nightmare kicks out at 2. Didn't really get the full lateral press on there. Was kind of laying on top of him.
But he did get a poke in the eyes for good measure.
Nightmare coming over now. Headbutt viciously. Didn't phase the Nightmare any, but Big seeing stars out of that one. Now face first into the corner turnbuckle. Nice elbow drop by the Nightmare. Nightmare rolling over, hooks the leg. Here's the cover. 1, 2. Not quite. Oh, wait a minute. Nightmare trying to... Hey, he's putting his foot on the ropes.
There it is, the ref.
Foot on the ropes, please. Big now trying to jam the knee of the Nightmare. Switches over now, working on the inside of the leg. Trying to wrap up here. Could be going for the figure 4.
There's
He's got
a spinning toe hold anyway. That's the start of it. Here he goes. He's going to hook it. Maybe not.
Now it looks like he's going to go for a slingshot. Nightmare, nice block on it, and gets a shot right in that wound, right on the top of Big's head. Big seeing stars from that one. Now Nightmare bringing him up.
Tape on Big's hands are already coming off.
Now Nightmare going for the choke here on the ropes. Referee's got to get in here and try to break this up. Nightmare with a shot right down to the lower abdomen. Now Nightmare dragging Big in by the leg here in the center of the ring. Now he's going to do some leg work. Quick cover here. It's not going to work, I don't think.
No, you're not going to get a former Intercontinental TV champion like that.
Now let's see what the Nightmare goes for here. Got to step over to hold. Okay, he's bringing the leg up. Looks like he's going to go for the figure 4.
He does. He's got it.
Nightmare at the figure 4 right in the center of the ring. If Big leans back, he's in danger. Now he rolls it over and reverses the hold.
And the Nightmare's got to get out of this.
Nightmare is certainly feeling the pain, absolutely writhing on the mat. Now breaks out of it.
Referee Ron Jeremy would have seen would have heard an I quit. He's right on top of the action like always.
Big favoring that left leg. Nightmare coming in. Oh, chop block gets him right in that knee. Big goes down hard. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's it.
Unbelievable.
That's got to be an upset. That is an upset.
That is an incredible upset. The former Intercontinental TV champion goes out in
winner
the
of the
first
match,
round.
Nightmare.
Unbelievable. Well, we know now that Mr. Big is not going to regain that Intercontinental TV title. The Nightmare might be on his way. He looks strong.
That was an absolutely stunning upset. I cannot believe it. All credit to the Nightmare going after the big man's legs to take him out and advance into the second round of this Intercontinental TV title tournament.
And Mr. Big's going to be out of action for a while. That ankle is all messed up.
Yeah, that didn't look too good. That chop block certainly did some damage to him.
We'll be back with the next match in the Intercontinental TV title tournament coming up really soon.
Back at the championship ladder here at UWA Central Headquarters, the Nightmare advances to the second round of the Intercontinental Television Championship Tournament with a stunning upset victory over Mr. Big. You know what? That will probably go down as one of the biggest upsets of 1998 in the UWA, and we're only a week into the new year.
The #1 seed, the former champion, already out of action after the first match here. Who would have thunk it?
I just can't believe that Mr. Big would have lost that match, but all credit again to the Nightmare. He did what he had to do in this first round match, take the legs away from the big man. If you get the big man down on the mat, he's a lot easier to handle.
He's definitely easier to handle. You cut him down to size, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That was definitely proof of that one right there. We're going to go up to the next match in the ring. Who do we have? Mr. Happy
against
and
big
Johnny
time Johnny Mainstreet, a holdover from SCW that's come over. And this is another David versus Goliath style of match, similar to what we've seen with the Nightmare and Mr. Big, where you have a huge guy in Mr. Happy, not a lot of offense, but he's just
not a lot
big.
of experience
and then
either.
You've got Johnny Mainstreet, who's probably one of the best technical wrestlers and a good street brawler as well. So an interesting contrast of styles here in this first round matchup.
Who's your money on?
Want
to make a little wager?
Oh, I wouldn't wager against you. I'd never be guaranteed to see the money if I won.
Can we get a box or a pedestal for me to stand on? I'm sick of looking up at you.
All right, let's go back to the ring as we get ready for the next match in the first round of the Intercontinental TV title tournament here on UWA Ringmasters as Mr. Happy prepares to take on big-time Johnny Mainstreet. Back up in the ring, here's Magnum ZA to introduce the competitors.
The following match is scheduled for one fall, and it is part of the Intercontinental Television Championship Tournament. Introducing first, hailing from Happy Valley, California, here is Mr. Happy.
Only had a chance to see Mr. Happy wrestle once previously here in the UWA. Absolutely decimated
And
his
his
opponent.
opponent from the main streets of New York City, here is Johnny Mainstreet.
From 42nd Street? That's my favorite street in New York City. I consider that Main Street.
Big time Johnny Mainstreet makes his way into the ring.
I haven't seen Mr. Happy wrestle before. I didn't do commentary. If you remember right, I believe Dalton, Payne, or Mr. Big did it with you. I haven't seen him wrestle. Does he know a wrist lock from a wristwatch?
I don't know if he did, considering he scored a victory, but now he telegraphs and winds up going face first into the turnbuckle. They didn't really face him that much. Mainstreet coming over, hasn't even taken his hood off yet. Kick to the midsection. Mainstreet incorporates a variety of styles into his wrestling repertoire. He can do the technical maneuvers. He's also good at the street brawling, and he even has a few martial arts, some Harlem side kicks incorporated into his repertoire. Very good. Here, the arm wringer turning it over. Follows it with a kick into the midsection, trying to knock the big man down. Kick to the back of the head.
He likes using those karate kicks. I've noticed that when all else fails, that's what he goes back to.
Mainstreet now.
Trained in the martial arts?
I don't know what arts he's trained in. Right now, I'd say he's trained in the hurting arts.
That's always a good one. Capital P-A-I-N. I like that.
Happy being set for the ride now. Mainstreet coming up. Reverse
got him a little
kick.
low.
Got him in the midsection. I think that's what he intended to do. Looks like he's trying to work on Mr. Happy's gut.
Well, why not go for a different part of the body than you normally go for?
Seems to be a sound strategy. Oh, Mainstreet snapping him over.
You expect to get taken down with an arm, a leg, not the gut.
Now Mainstreet being sent in for the ride. Happy, shoulder block. Knocks Mainstreet down, knocks him halfway across the ring. Now
Happy's
Mainstreet
gonna
being
mount an
brought up
offense.
here.
There's
See
a
what Happy
whip in.
does. Going for the squash in the corner and lands it. Mainstreet crumples like a sack of potatoes.
I can't say I know that much about this Mr. Happy. You know a lot more about Main Street. There's a
DDT. Not a rolling DDT either. Just kind of dropped him straight down. Mainstreet able to come back up though. And look at that beautiful back kick. Crowns him right on the top of the head. Mainstreet getting back up now. Happy holding the back of his head. That kick certainly had some effect. Mainstreet might be trying to... Look at this. He actually got him up. Oh, devastating pile driver.
watermelon head time. That's what I call it. Smashing a watermelon.
Bob, I can't believe the Mainstreet got somebody the size of Mr. Happy up for that pile driver. That's a lot of strength.
I can believe it. I'm impressed by this Johnny Mainstreet. I've been impressed every time I've taken a look at him here.
Mainstreet now picking Mr. Happy back up. Got him by the arm here, trying to set up here some form of a, could be a submission maneuver here.
Almost
yeah,
an
double arm bar.
STF type maneuver.
And Mr.
Double
Happy
arm
calls
submission.
for the bell. And this one is history. That's the first time we've seen Johnny Mainstreet use a submission maneuver.
And that maneuver very similar to the Rings of Saturn.
A double arm bar with the hook, and Mr. Happy had no choice but to shake his head and say, I'm done. So I don't think Mr. Happy's too happy right about now as he goes down in defeat here in the first round, and big time Johnny Mainstreet will advance.
Yes, the man from the streets of New York City got him with the arm hooker.
Don't forget, folks, if you want to write us, we'd love to hear from you. It's P.O. Box 54, North Syracuse 13212. And don't forget, for upcoming information and plus the cool links, including the link to Metal Bob's webpage, I have to say that because he's sitting next to me.
The coolest.
I'll get crowned if I don't. www.angelfire.com/small_y/UWA Ring.
Let's take it back up to the big board, if you will.
Back at the championship ladder, big time, Johnny Mainstreet advances with an impressive victory over Mr. Happy, who's probably feeling a little sad right about now.
He definitely is, and that Rings of Saturn type maneuver, I don't know what he's going to call it. We'll find out from big time Johnny Mainstreet as it goes on. What's up next, Szmal?
Well, the next match should be an interesting one because it pits Mr. Personality against Action Jackson. Now, we've seen Action Jackson in the ring. He's very effective, but every time Mr. Personality has come out to wrestle, he hasn't. He was invited to join the family, and then just before Christmas Chaos, he got pummeled, pulverized, trashed, smashed, and crashed.
He got thumped.
Yeah, essentially right in the center of the ring. I don't suppose you'd know anything about that, but...
No, I don't know anything about your family, and I don't pretend
I'm
to.
talking about the family. I don't suppose you know anything about Mr. Personality getting whacked by the entire family in the ring.
I saw it just like you. It was a big surprise to me. My money's always been on Personality to join the family.
Please. We don't even know if Mr. Personality is going to come out to the ring and actually wrestle. A couple of times he and I have gotten into a couple of jawing matches over the fact that his contract was sold to the UWA and he's refused to wrestle to this point. So we don't know if he's even going to get in the ring. Action Jackson may get a free pass here in the first round.
Either that or we're going to have another match. He's going to come out to the commentary table and take care of you.
Please. Let's go to the ring. Intercontinental TV title tournament continues here on UWA Ringmasters.
I'd pay to see that.
All right, let's go back up to Magnum ZA up in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a first-round UWA Intercontinental Television match. Introducing first, from the city streets of North Syracuse, here is Action Jackson.
And what dreaded rough streets they are.
Action stepping into the ring.
And his opponent, hailing from New Jersey, here is Mr. Personality.
It's going to be interesting to see if Personality, well, is getting in the ring.
He's not going to wrestle. He doesn't have his wig on.
Please. Jeremy calls for the bell here. I guess Personality's actually going to... He shakes hands with Action Jackson.
That's no surprise. They come from a similar background.
Takes an elbow right to the top of the head. Jackson crowning him with another elbow on the back of the head. Pick it back up. Now holding him down. Nice armbar takedown. Going to bend that wrist back. That's got to hurt.
That's definitely got to hurt. This Action Jackson is power personified. And I'm sure we've not seen the last of the feud that's developed between him and big-time Johnny Mainstreet.
They have wrestled in the past few weeks here on the UWA Ringmasters. A couple of really high-impact matches.
They could eventually meet in this tournament.
Make a Jane Fonda workout look like a walk in the park. I'll tell you, here's Personality getting out of a headlock into an arm wringer here. Shots under the arm.
No sweating to the oldies here.
Now a switch over into a nice move by Personality. Gets him with the elbow coming off the ropes. I'm impressed. Personality's actually stringing together some maneuvers here.
I'm impressed that he's even wrestling.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing that he's even, and he hasn't made any comments about anybody so far. He's focusing on what he's got to do in the ring. Accidental chop to the back of the shoulders of Action Jackson. Now sends him in for the ride. Goes for the clothesline. Telegraphs and misses. Coming off the ropes. Action picking him up. Oh!
Dropped him down on the knee, like shin to knee type maneuver.
Ooh. Personality feeling the ill effects.
This Personality, from what I've seen of him in the past, viewing tapes, we don't need to go to that. into that too far. We know the past with that, but he's a tactician in there.
Action now in the center of the ring again, going back to that arm. Back to that short arm wrist lock.
Ron Jeremy right on top of the action, as always.
And Action laying it in properly, putting all of his weight right on the shoulder. Action and picking him back up now. Arm wringer, short arm, ooh, into a sidewalk slam. I thought he was going to go for the clothesline. Here's a cover, 2, and Personality kicking out at 2. Gets the shoulder rolled up. I thought that was going to be a clothesline from Action, but he instead converted it into a sidewalk slam.
I think Personality thought it was going to be a clothesline, too. He didn't have time to adjust when he actually came in with a sidewalk slam.
Action now at the knee to the midsection. Repeated knees.
That'll crack a few ribs.
Personality slid back against the ropes, comes back with a token chop. Now throws a forearm shot into the chest. Pushes away. Drop kick by Personality. Caught him right in the ribs.
And that one came out of nowhere as well. Looks like he was going to give him another chop or a punch, and he comes out of nowhere with a drop kick.
Now Personality picking him up. Could be going scoop, slam. Sets him right down on his shoulder. Now Personality coming in. Oh, look at that. Cross splash.
Very nice.
Personality now with the upper hand. Now the
Measured him
forearm
for
shot.
yes. Measured him right across the chin throat area.
Now Personality, what's he up to here? Rolling him over. It's a one-legged Boston Crab. Action not giving up on this, but Personality really doesn't have this cinched in. He's got to lean back on it a little bit as Action gets to the ropes now. Get the hold broken.
Yeah, he's got to sit down towards the back of Action Jackson for that move to have its full effect. That's one of my favorite moves.
It did take some of the action out of Jackson, though, as he's a little winded here.
Woo!
First knife edge. Now an open-handed chop. Personality going to work on the ribs and the upper chest area.
I'm sorry, I couldn't refuse.
Now picking him up. Could be an inverted atomic drop. Sits him right down.
Did you see the way Personality held the legs apart so he couldn't block that if he wanted to?
Personality comes in with another forearm, lays it almost across the throat. Very impressed by Personality's offense here. Now Action reverses it. Personality set in for the ride. Action, bulldog. Dropped him right down hard on his head. Action trying to roll him over now for the cover. Doesn't get it. And it looks like Action was holding his back there for a second. He may have hurt his back.
He might have hurt himself giving the bulldog. I don't know what happened there.
Both men down. Ron Jeremy keeping an eye on the action up close and personal.
I've seen Dustin hurt himself giving the bulldog before. But we won't go into that.
All right, Mr. Personality whipped off the ropes. Action picking him up. Sidewalk slam, center of the ring. This could be it.
Oh, that's a bad maneuver.
I can't believe he didn't go for the cover.
In a
He was
title
right on
tournament
top of him.
match?
Unbelievable. See what Action's got up his sleeve here. He's spending a lot of time celebrating, and he hasn't won the match yet. Personality laying in the ring, and Action.
Hey, just in case you didn't know, pal, you're in a TV title tournament match.
Oh, wait a minute. Personality, small
There it
back.
is. One, two, three.
Three.
Personality gets it.
Oh.
The winner of the match,
Caught him snoozing.
Personality.
Caught him snoozing.
You know what? That may have been one of the oldest tricks in the book laid in right there. The good old playing possum. But Action's
the
not
match
done
is
yet. Wait a
over.
minute. Wait a minute. Oh, what was that?
I don't know, but that's one of the most devastating moves I've seen in professional wrestling in a long time.
Wait a minute. The match is over. Ron Jeremy counting a 3 count for Action just to get him out of the ring. But man, Personality was laid out, and that was one of the most devastating maneuvers I've ever seen.
We've got to find out what he calls that, but sharp contrast from the beginning of that match to the end of it. They shook hands at the beginning. Look what happened at the end. Let's go back up to the title contention board, the tournament board, whatever you want to call it here. What do you call it?
Bob, I would call this a competition ladder, seatings, pairings.
A ladder? Where's the rung on the damn thing?
Never
I
mind.
call it a board.
Never mind. Anyhow, on the board, you can see here, Mr. Personality getting the victory over Action Jackson, moves up into the second round of the Intercontinental TV title tournament. Our next matchup is going to be a fantastic one because it pairs a newcomer that you know very well, I'm sure.
I'm impressed by the Philanderer from what I've seen of him so far.
You were, now, be honest with us. You were behind the whole thing with the Philanderer joining the family, weren't you?
I'm behind anything that the family does. They're my boys.
Well, yeah, but you're the one that masterminded it, right?
Yes, I do have a masterful mind.
That's not what I meant. Never mind. I could be here all day arguing with you about this. Never mind. The next
Want to
match.
have a debate?
No, thank you. Philanderer, R Mortis in the next match. Now, R, we don't see him too often, but he is a capable competitor. The Philanderer could be tested here.
Yes, he is a mysterious man from Mexico City, Mexico, is R Mortis. And the Philanderer, well, what can we say about him? We've seen him. He's got the stuff.
And R obviously has to watch out for that infamous blind date, the potentially lethal finishing maneuver of the Philanderer.
Yeah, that is a devastating maneuver, and it's just as lethal, if not more lethal, than the DDT because it's dropping you backwards on your head. You can't even stop that move. You can't get your hands down. You can't do anything.
Let's go to Magnum ZI up in the ring as we continue with our Intercontinental Television title tournament on the UWA Ringmasters.
The following match is scheduled for one fall and is a first-round UWA Intercontinental Television Championship Tournament match. Introducing first, from Mexico, here is R Mortis.
R Mortis, the UWA's resident luchador, reports to the ring now.
There's a little Otmar Liebert.
And his opponent, led to the ring by his manager, GQ Brandon Styles. From Chappaqua, here is the Philanderer.
I thought it was pronounced Get that. Does he have to be disgusting like that all the time? This is a family show.
What are you asking me for? Ask him.
It literally is a family show. Oh, wait a minute. R attacks before the bell is even rung here.
He smells gold. R has had this belt before. He wants it again.
Philanderer sent down with a clothesline. GQ Brandon Styles with that ever-present, often-used Halliburton case in his hand. R dropping the elbow here on the back of Philanderer's neck. Philanderer pushes him up against the ropes now. Sends him in for the ride. Comes off clothesline. Almost took Riggar's head off.
He almost did that, but R Mortis has been known for coming back after a beating like that. He can absorb a tremendous amount of punishment.
Impressive slam there by the Philanderer. Philanderer now swinging off the ropes. Oh! Leg drop. Riggar tried to roll out of the way, but still caught a foot.
Jeremy down. You're not going to get him that quick.
You must be pleased with the progress of the Philanderer as a member of the family.
I'm very happy for him.
Especially after the family completely decimated Mr. Personality.
Will you please stop bringing up your family? We know you visited them during the holidays. You had a nice Thanksgiving dinner. You had a nice Christmas dinner. You had a nice New Year's dinner. But stop. Please stop talking about your family.
Please focus on what's going on in front of us right now. Thank you. Oh, Philanderer, nice crossbody off the ropes. Gets a 2 and a 3, and it's over.
You've got to be kidding me.
That was incredible. Philanderer did not use the blind date. He showed us a little versatility there.
You're going to pin a former Intercontinental TV champion that quick? Wait a minute. You spoke too soon, Szmal.
I'm afraid I did. Here comes
good measure.
The blind date post-mortem on R Mortis.
Hey, Brandon, come here.
Oh, will you please?
I always do as I please.
Let's go back to the board.
Oh, thank you. You call it the board now. Make up my mind.
Back at the championship board, where the Philanderer has advanced to the second round of our Intercontinental TV title tournament by defeating R Mortis. And, well, trivia question for you folks. How many of you can remember who the very first Intercontinental TV champion was? The first man to hold this title belt. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about it. Actually, I don't need to give you any more time because he's here, ladies and gentlemen. He's now one half of the UWA Tag Team Champions. But at one time, he was the first man to hold this Intercontinental TV title. We're, of course, talking about Devastating Derek.
Much like Pat Patterson in the was the first Intercontinental. What do we got here? Some matches going on. I'm the Intercontinental TV Champion and Tag Team Champion once again.
You can't hold two belts at the same time.
Oh, that's why we're in this mess. Look at what we've got here. the dirty, rotten Philanderer with the midsection. I'm telling you, that guy put on a fur jacket, you'd think he's a pipe cleaner. We got Johnny Mainstreet, always wears a hood. You'd think he's one of those little dink guys. Who else we got? Thunder Tiger and the Mystic. They're all right. I can't believe they're fighting each other, but they're all right. R Mortis gone. Deranged and the Fat Assassin.
Do you mind?
I don't know. They're both a little...
I suppose now you're going to have to tell us about the other half of the
why not?
pairings, aren't you?
Body damage. He smells. MOB. I've had a lot of matches with him. A lot of matches. Falls count anywhere. Brutal. Brutal man. Brutal matches. Mr. Personality went on. He doesn't even belong here. Little Private Terry Daniels looking bastard. Action Jackson from the mean streets of North Syracuse. We see there. That got you. Mr. Big Fat Big blew out an ankle. He's gone. The Nightmare went on, which makes me sick because he's a dirty, greasy welfare bastard. And in our very next match, we got Dalton Payne and the Disco Kid. Why are you turning your back on me?
Are you finished?
I guess.
I'm going to ignore everything you just said.
Dalton Payne and the Disco Kid. Dalton Payne, good competitor. He's got some fire in him. I've beat him many times. The Disco Kid, however, and Metal Bob will attest to this sitting in the other room there. I trained him. Bombshell Billy trained him, and Metal Bob trained him. We all trained him, and he won the World Heavyweight title upon our training. We've seen the tapes. We all know what happened. So can he go on to beat Dalton? Probably. And then he'll beat the Nightmare Personality. I don't know about that match. Who really gives a flying hell? And really just a bunch of suckholes, if you ask me. But that's just my opinion as the Intercontinental TV Champion.
Once again, do I need to remind you, you may have held that belt in the past, but you can't hold it now. You're the tag team champion. You can't hold two belts at the same time. If you were watching the beginning of the show, you may have learned that from Ray Vassell.
Dalton Payne and Disco Kid, anyways. Looking to be in the championship match against me at the end.
Can I ask you, do you mind if I do my job here and like maybe ask you a question rather than just getting your 2 cents on everything?
Sure.
First off, I see you're still bearing some damage from Christmas Chaos. Unbelievably brutal match that you and Diablo had defending the belts against Stag and McCracken.
One of the most brutal I've ever been in, just because I tripped on the chain a few times myself. Nothing the family ever did.
The chain.
Yeah. What had happened was, as I was leaving, I was on my way, leaving the dressing room. You know, they have short things, beams hanging down in that stupid place. I bashed my head and started bleeding. This was nothing that the family ever did to me. I'm right.
Are you finished?
Are we on? Are we on?
Thank you. Thank you very much for your input.
Can you hear me?
Any memories from holding that Intercontinental Television title belt?
Yeah, I beat Bombshell Billy in the tournament finals. How about that? Talk about tough competition.
Pretty impressive.
Who else was in there with me? Matt Mississippi. Flaboo. Bunch of guys. What?
Flaboo?
Yeah. Flaboo. He's not here anymore. Ellie Vader. There's a lot of guys in that one. And now that I've regained the belt, why are you having a tournament
This
anyway?
is not going anywhere. We're just wasting time here. We should be working our way to the next match.
My name.
We can watch Dalton Payne take on the Disco Kid here in the next first round match of the UWA Intercontinental TV title tournament.
You got a pen?
No, I don't have a pen.
My name here.
If I
I'm the
did, I
damn
wouldn't
champion.
give it to you anyway.
These two, whoever wins here, gets to face me, the champion. I think this is exciting. I think the UWA is innovative. I think they're smart to finally have a tournament to see who really could be the #1 contender to take me on. Because there's no competition around here. As a matter of fact, we have sent Steel. And I sent... What's going on with the...
I am not going to allow that kind of talk on this program.
Are you blacking me out?
I had to. I had to. We'd get thrown off the air for what you just said about Steel.
So you cut me out. You cut part of it. You're going to cut... You cut some of this out?
Look, I've had enough of this, all right?
Listen, we're sending Steel. Listen to me.
What?
We're sending the Steel. We're sending Steel to Las Vegas, Florida, a bunch of places over the next couple of weeks. We're going to have some interviews with her from different locations where she's going to be trying to find competition for my tag team titles, me and Diablo, Bombshell's world title, and my Intercontinental TV title. This is a good start, having all these guys fight to see who will wrestle the champion, which is me. Give me a damn pen.
Fans, we all know that this title is up in this tournament. That's why this board is up here. That's why we have these pairings. That's why we're doing this tournament. What do you think you're... You stop that.
This thing on. Get a lighter. Dalton and Disco, roll it!
Let's go back to the ring.
Roll it! Are we on? Is this thing still on? Anybody on here? Hello. Hello, are we on? Hello. I guess we're not on.
All right, let's go to Magnum ZA in the ring. Introduce this next matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for one fall. It is a first-round Intercontinental Television title match. Introducing first, from San Francisco, California, here is the Disco Kid. And his opponent, from South Beach, Miami, Florida, here is Dalton Payne. You again.
Could Disco Fever be catching on?
All right, let me settle in with my headset again here.
I'm sorry. I don't know how you feel about that.
There it is, Bailey, right there.
Why'd you have to go out there and
Right there.
yeah, good waste of camera time there we just had. Hey, what he forgot to tell you was I brought him to the belt. Now, is Dalton Payne part of the family or what?
I think you would answer that question better than I would.
Why would I be asking you if I knew the answer?
Because you're the one with the family. You're the one that's involved with the family. You're the one that could tell us whether Dalton Payne is in the family.
I am not involved with anybody in your family as of yet.
Probably a good thing, too. Collar and elbow time now, a whip across the ring as Dalton getting the jump over, and now leapfrogs the Disco Kid, responds with a hip toss. Coming back, another one.
What?
Dalton
Okay,
gets
Dalton
to the
Payne
ropes.
tried to be a little high flyer there. That's what happens when you're not that agile and you try that stuff.
Disco and Dalton locking up again.
Not only did I bring Devastating Derek to the Intercontinental TV title, I brought the Disco Kid to the World Heavyweight title.
Is there anything you haven't done? DDT by Dalton.
I'll think about it and I'll get back to you.
I'm sure you will.
Now let's watch the match.
What an arrogant cover by Dalton Payne. You're not going to pin anybody with a hand on him.
Dalton Payne arrogant? I hadn't noticed.
Disco being sent in for the ride. Dalton responds with a boot. Now setting up.
Leg sweep.
Drops him back. Kind of lackadaisical cover again. Gets a 2 count. Disco rolls out at 2.5.
Dalton now sizing him up, picks him up from one side, whips him from one rope to the other rope.
Missed the clothesline there, and Disco comes in with a flying body press off the ropes. 1, 2. Dalton's hand on the ropes just in time. Did you teach him that?
Did I teach the Disco Kid a flying body press?
No, did you teach Dalton Payne how to reach for the ropes and know where he is in the ring?
If he needs help learning that, then he needs help. There's a bulldog.
Nicely delivered out of the corner
I
by...
beat you to it.
Will you stop? Please. Disco going for a
Snapmare
snapmare
over in the
takeover.
corner. Setting him up. We know what it's time for. Time for the Disco.
Oh! Telegraph that maneuver. Nobody home.
A little soon in the match to go for that anyway.
Looks like Disco may have landed on his right knee, and Dalton immediately going to work on it. Setting him up here, could be a figure 4. No, working on a step over toe hold.
This Disco Kid can dislocate an arm for you. I know about that first arm.
Well, he might have a disco-lated leg, or is that dislocated leg?
Oh, very
As a
brilliant.
result of the step over toe hold. Thank you. Dalton now dropping knees right into the back of the knee, biting him.
Did I tell you he has a degree from Disco Tech?
I believe you may have mentioned that in the past, but I'm going to ignore that. Dalton with a reverse knife edge chops in the corner. Now a snapmare takeover, nicely done. Now going to hold on the trapezius muscles.
I can be a mark for ECW if I want.
Disco feeling the effects of this hold here.
Does he have the full effect of that?
I don't know. Dalton should be over the top of him, pressing down on this hold to make it effective. And
Yeah, it seems like you're losing a lot of
laying back.
body
He may
weight.
have been trying to put his leg on the ropes for leverage, but he's better off in a kneeling position. Disco getting back up now.
And a whip in and a reversal. There's a punch right to, that wasn't the heart punch, but that was a punch. Did he catch him in the throat?
Dalton picking him back up now. Looking like a sidewalk slam coming here now. Sets him down for a backbreaker. Here's a cover. 2, and Disco kicks out again.
Back into the rope. Dalton should be taking advantage.
Oh, wait a minute. Disco Kid's locked up in the ropes now. Definitely an advantage for Dalton. Looks like Dalton coming across from the other side. Oh, clothesline. Disco up and down. Dalton responds with a flying elbow. It's a very arrogant cover here. 2. Surprised Disco Kid was able to kick out there at the 2.5 mark.
The Disco Kid is very resilient in there.
Oh, this could be bad. It's a Boston Crab.
It's not going to be good, that's for sure.
Disco's holding on here. Dalton's got it laid in right, proper technique. Oh, he gets sprung out of it. Disco got some spring into his legs there and was able to throw him out of the maneuver. Impressive.
I told you this Disco Kid was no slouch.
Dalton back up to his feet first, responds with a couple of chops on the side of the head, backs Disco into the corner.
The Disco Kid has also seen the Intercontinental TV title.
Oh, Disco went for a flying maneuver into the corner, winds up crowning himself. And here comes Dalton. Ooh!
Dropped him face first.
Ouch. I think this
Full
is going to be
Nelson
it.
into a face slam.
1, 2, and wait a minute. He's pulling the Disco Kid up.
Are we
Could
going
have
to
counted
see?
Ron Jeremy could have counted to 500 there. Up.
There's the heart punch.
Now it's definitely over. This one's history. Dalton Payne heart punches his way past the Disco Kid, and up here come your boys to congratulate
The winner of
him.
the match, Dalton Payne.
So is he part of the family?
Well, wait a minute. What is this? Oh!
I didn't know anything about it.
Oh! Dalton Payne just got crowned on top of Brandon Styles Halliburton by Staggen McCracken. And wait a minute. Now the Philanderer is picking him up. Styles is holding on to that Halliburton. Oh, no. Not the blind. Ow! The blind date on Dalton Payne.
It was over 5 minutes ago.
What is this about? You tell me what this is about, please.
It's a little family celebration. At the holiday time, you know what a family celebration is. It's tradition.
Let's go back up to the championship board now for a recap of what we've seen.
Hey, you can get in touch with the UWA. All you intelligent people out there, the Syracuse University, you can get in touch with the UWA at UWA Ringmasters, P.O. Box 54, North Syracuse, New York, 13212, or on the World Wide Web at www.angelfire.com/ny/UWA Ring. Hey, you know what you need to do right now? You need to go to the link off of the web page that is called Year End Balloting, and you need to enter Metal Bob's name for every single category. Every single category.
What are you talking about? You haven't been active.
I haven't been active. I didn't win the Intercontinental TV title and the World Tag Team title this past year.
I mean, not active recently.
Not recently, but it's the whole year. It's January to January.
Yeah, but you haven't done anything in the past
January
couple of
to
months.
December,
So
pardon
you haven't
me.
done really, except in the first, oh, never mind. I don't know why I'm even bothering to argue with you. Folks,
Fans are intelligent. They remember.
time is running out, so get your votes in on the webpage or send in your votes for the year-end awards as soon as you can.
Remember, Metal Bob for every category for the year-end awards.
I'm going to ignore this. Let's go back up to the board, please. Bob, what the heck are you doing?
Inferiority complex, what?
Will you
Not
stop?
me.
Stop trying to be taller than me. Will you knock it off?
I can't see the board.
Speaking of the board, let's go over here and take a look at this.
Your board?
Do you mind? Dalton Payne defeats the Disco Kid, moves on now to take on the Nightmare. That should be a good bout. The Nightmare has pulled off the upset of this tournament so far, defeating the guy who has held this Intercontinental TV title for a while leading up to this tournament, Mr. Big.
Yeah, Mr. Big was the #1 seed going into the tournament easily. The Nightmare upset him. Not the first upset to come out of this tournament, I'll guarantee you that.
I would definitely believe that. Mr. Personality, this is a bit of an upset, too, because we hadn't even seen him wrestle until this first round of this tournament, and he showed some nice abilities in taking down Action Jackson.
Yes, he did. We haven't seen him in the UWA, but we have seen tapes. I've seen tapes anyway. I know you've seen tapes.
I've seen plenty of Mr. Personality, more than I care to admit to sometimes. He'll take on the winner of Body Damage against MOB. That's going to be a classic Pier 6 brawl. You know how it is with Damage Incorporated. If you're taking on one, you're probably going to wind up taking on all three of them.
You are, and with Body Damage, the ring general of Damage Incorporated in there, you never know what's going to happen. They've followed his lead so far, and they've run rampant in the UWA.
Now, here's an interesting pairing in the first round that we'll see in the coming weeks here on the UWA Ringmasters. Because of the blind draw of this tournament, Thunder Tiger and Mystic,
the Oriental Terrors,
the two that have tag teamed for so long, held the UWA tag team title belts longer than anyone in UWA history, are actually going to take each other on in the first round of this tournament.
That should be an interesting match. They know each other inside and out. That should be a very interesting matchup. A little side note here. I beat Thunder Tiger for that Intercontinental TV title.
Thank you very much for sharing that. The Philanderer defeats R Mortis. Big time Johnny Mainstreet gets by Mr. Happy. The two of them now move into second round brackets. Philanderer will take on the winner of Thunder Tiger and Mystic. And Mainstreet will meet the winner of the Deranged and Assassin matchup. Assassin, the mat technician. Deranged, kind of hard to describe. You would be able to do this better than I would.
What do you mean by that?
Describe his style. You've talked to him. You've conferred with him. You left the Ring of Christmas Chaos with him.
You never mind about that. What I talk about with Deranged is between us. It's not your business. It's not Vassell's business. He's been sticking his fat head into it. It's not anybody's business except mine. Deranged will be ready, and he's going to surprise some people in the UWA in the weeks to come.
Now, don't forget, folks, to get those votes in for the year-end awards here on the UWA Ringmasters. You could do that by writing the P.O. Box 54, North Syracuse, New York, 13212, or you can hit the website, which is www.angelfire.com/NY/UWA Ring. As a matter of fact, next week we're going to look back at the year that was, so it might give you a little bit of a refresher course if you're going to be filling out those year-end awards by mail or by the internet. It's the year-end review from the UWA. Should be interesting to
watch. I can't wait. We'll see probably one of my most glorious years in the United Wrestling Alliance, and you'll see why you should vote for me in every single category for the year-end awards here in the UWA.
I suppose you're Rookie of the Year as well? How can you be Rookie of the Year? How many years have you campaigned?
It depends on how you define the word rookie.
I'm going to ignore everything you just said. It's better that way. Folks, next week, the year in review here on the UWA. In 2 weeks, we'll return to action in the Intercontinental TV title tournament, wrapping up round number 1 and moving into those key quarterfinal matchups where anything can and probably will happen.
And judging from the board right now, there's going to be some very interesting matches still to come in this title tournament.
We'll see you next week on the UWA Ringmasters. I hope the new year is going well for you, everybody. From Metal Bob, I'm the Small Guy. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Broncos over Chiefs.
Nobody can tell me what to do. I'm the rebel with a cause, breaking the curfew. An international threat to the power structure. Scream when your eardrums rupture. Anarchy, primal terror. My God, it's a brand new era. The world revolves on an economic axis. And if it's lit, everybody trips. Black and white in a fight for green. While the yellow and red get caught between.